All right, good morning. We'll go ahead and come to our seated position, taking a moment to arrive onto the mat. Yesterday was Moon Day, and so I didn't practice my Ashtanga practice. So I want to kind of see if we can bring a little bit of a different aspect to our practice today by perhaps setting an intention for our practice. And so what I want us to try to do as we settle and ground ourselves onto our cushions is to kind of close the eyes, settle the breath, calm the body, and see what rises up in the mind about an intention. And this intention can be something small, seemingly insignificant, but that still rises up in your heart. Or it could be something a lot bigger, encompassing of others. So just take a moment here with the next few breaths to see what moves you. Why do you want to practice today? What's the intention for this today? It could simply be to stretch the body, to relieve some pain, or it could be bigger, like to bring joy to someone that is suffering in your life, or to bring unity to some kind of discord going on in a relationship. Whatever your intention is, feel it in your heart and let it move throughout your mind, throughout your body, as we settle in for a few breaths here. And with the next exhale breath, holding on to this intention very gently, very lightly, just keeping it there, letting it hover. As we exhale, let's bring the chin down towards the chest, pulling through the back of the neck. Start to move the head side to side, bringing movement to the neck. Take a swallow. Allow the tongue to go limp in the back of the throat. And then slowly lift the chin, blink the eyes open, roll the shoulders back. We'll start with a nice easy twist. So right hand to left knee, left hand reaches around, look over left shoulder. Don't have to go very deep here. We're just starting to move the body. Exhale, coming back to center, and we'll do the other side. Settle in here. Allow that right shoulder to pull back. Again, very gentle, not trying to force or go into our deepest twist. And we'll do it one more time. This time we'll hold a little bit longer. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind you. Find your twist and hold and breathe. Keep your eyes focused in one spot, your attention inward. Exhale, slowly coming back through to center, and then we'll do the other side. Again, we'll hold just a little bit longer on this side. Find your grip, find your twist. Use your right arm to create stability in the spine, and the left arm to create leverage. Gazing back over that right shoulder. Find your drishti and steady the breath. And slowly exhale, coming back to center. Inhaling, drawing the arms up, creating sense of space to both sides of the body. Maybe a little bit of a wiggle through the rib cage if that feels good. Reaching the right side, reaching the left side, kind of climbing the hands up, pulling the shoulder blades back and down. And then find stillness at the top. Bring the palms together, look towards the thumbs. Open up through the front body. Try not to arch back like a back bend. Keep your body straight, spine extended. Lengthening up, tuck the tailbone under just ever so slightly to feel truly grounded through the sit bones. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. We're going to go ahead and come into our hands and knees. So now that the back is nice and twisted and stretched, we're going to move into the hips a little bit. So coming onto the hands and knees for a moment. Make sure I don't knock my water away. Take a moment to feel the floor underneath your hands. The knees are stacked right below the hips. And then start to move the tailbone. So we're going to keep the shoulders pretty square. They might move a little bit, but you want to keep them pretty flat. So you're not moving into the shoulders. Shoulders are nice and straight, protracted. And just start to move into the tailbone. Tucking under and lifting up. So there's a movement in the tailbone. There's a movement in the middle back. Keep the shoulders strong and protracted. Keep your gaze down that space between your thumbs or between your index fingers. And then hold the tuck under and slowly start to roll your weight back. So stretching through the lower back. Roll the weight back till maybe the heels and the tailbone touches or the hip sit bones touch. Keep the roundness of the back. Keep the chin kind of not tucked in towards the chest, but also not open. So nice flat line with your neck, keeping it in line with the spine. And then exhale, slowly come back through the center, keeping that tailbone tucked under, shoulders square. And then inhale, tilt the tailbone up. So now we're going a little bit into like a cat position, but again, keep the shoulders protracted. They like to sink here, so push the floor away. As you keep the tailbone tucked up, now we're gonna move forward. So reaching the weight forward over the fingertips. Won't go very far probably. Start to feel the stretch in your wrists. Keep the belly drawn in tight. Keep the tailbone lifting up. Shoulders kind of start to move back here a little bit. And then exhale, coming back to center. Good. Tucking the toes under this time and pressing up to your downward facing. Take a couple of breaths here to pedal out and move into your downward facing dog. When we first come into our downward facing dog, this is where we get to really check in. What's going on with the body? What is the feeling, the sensations, what's going on? So just take a few moments, whether it's bending through the knees or moving the weight forward and back or swishing the hips side to side, kind of allowing your body to move in whatever direction, whatever way feels good for you today. When we start our practice this way, we can really kind of honor what we feel and honor the state of our bodies this morning versus forcing our bodies to come into a position that's not quite right. So if you start to feel pain anywhere in your body here, to make that assessment. Should I come out of the posture? Should I modify the posture? Maybe by bending the knees and lifting the heels off the floor. Maybe that eases the discomfort. So kind of make little adjustments here as you see fit. We hold this for a few breaths, with or without movement, or with both, finding stillness and then creating movement and vice versa. The head just hangs here, so there's no tension in the neck. And some people like to tuck the chin under and kind of gaze towards the space where the navel is or would be. But if that's too much for you, just gazing towards the upper thighs or towards the knees. That feels good. One more breath here. Keep drawing in through belly, drawing in through the pelvic floor and lifting up through the sit bones. And inhale, looking forward between the hands and step or walk your feet about halfway up your mat. Maybe the toes can come right behind the heels of your hands or your palms. So your feet are about hip width apart. If the palms don't come to the floor, remember you always have access to using your block. So you can always bring your hands to the block. If you have two blocks, you can place one on either side of your body on front of each foot. Now, because we're just kind of still warming up here, soften the knees if you need to. And try to really draw in and kind of hollow out the belly. So you're pulling and hollowing out the belly and you're letting your body hang forward. This can feel very intense in the back, in the legs, basically your entire posterior chain. So if it's too much, keep softening the knees and keep relaxing into the stretch. When you're ready, you start to straighten your legs and we start to really fold ourselves forward. So the stretch here starts or begins all the way into the Achilles tendon and starts to move up the legs, into the glutes, into the lower back, into the middle back, and even into the space of the shoulders as to pull the body forward and down. If possible, maybe slide the hands to other sides of your feet and see if you can roll the way forward to balls of your feet and try to get yourself a little deeper into your Uttanasana forward fold. Keeping that belly drawn in, keeping the fold. Inhale, let's lift halfway, come into the fingertips, but keep them in place. You can have them in front of the toes or next to the toes. Reach up through the chest, draw into the belly. Here's a good time to try to straighten your legs if you haven't tried to yet. And then walk the hands forward, walk the feet forward, toes and heels together this time. Softly bend through the knees, round the spine, and start to lift yourself up. So you're like a rag doll, pressing the floor away with your legs, drawing in through your belly, squishing the legs strong, rolling the shoulders back until we come into our samasthiti, which is our standing, neutral standing pose. Find your breath here, gaze forward, chin parallel to the floor, arms just down by your sides. Relax your fingers. Easy inhale, slow, gentle exhale. We're going to move into some variations of Surya Namaskara A. And inhale, arms up, extend. Looking up towards the palms, find extension of body. Exhale, slowly forward fold. Take your time as you come down, easy and steady. Find again here your Uttanasana. This time with the feet together, it might be a little harder. So if you like, soften your knees again, reach your tailbone up, let your head hang. Or try to straighten your legs and roll the weight forward to the balls of your feet, moving your upper body towards your thighs. Inhale, lift halfway. Again, you can come to the fingertips here, but don't move your hands. So if you were to bring your palms down, it's the same space. You're not moving your hands forward. So from here, extend through the spine, reach the top of the head forward, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands on the floor, and just step your left foot and your right foot back to come into your high plank. We're going to hold our high plank here for a few breaths. Protract your shoulders, tuck the tailbone under slightly, and roll the weight forward to the hands so your weight is in your hands. Strong legs, strong shoulders, and strong arms. Hold here and breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, bend the knees. Bring them to the floor, slowly bend the elbows, bring the chest and the chin down. Inhale, press up to cobra. We're gonna hold our cobra here for a moment, so make sure your legs are comfortably apart. Try to press the tops of your feet into the floor as you engage and lift up using a little bit of strength from your arms. Open the heart, lift the chest, look forward. Hold 1. Strong legs, 2. Steady the breath, 3. Almost there, keep breathing, 4, and 5. Exhale, come down. Inhale, tap the toes under, press back onto the knees, and lift back to downward facing dog. Again, find your downward facing dog here. Extension of the body, draw in through the navel, and see if you can find a space that feels as comfortable as possible for you. This posture does eventually become a little bit more like a resting posture, only because our muscles become stronger and a little bit more aware of what effort they need to be putting in. So with time, this does become a little bit easier. Also, you get the inversion benefits of this posture. The change in perspective as you gaze towards the bridge of your nose, seeing the world in its upside down state. And then inhale, looking forward between the hands. Before we come out of this, let's take the right foot forward between the hands. Big, big step. And bring the left knee to the floor. Now, with that left knee on the floor, move your hips forward and back. Finding the stretch here in your hips. If you'd like, you can use a block behind your right ankle. And that way you don't have to reach down with your arms so far. You can keep a little bit of lift there. And once you feel like you've had enough movement, then hold the forward, maybe come to the fingertips, or again, using the block, you can release that left toe, pressing the left hip down, find your stretch here. Now go ahead and grab your block and bring it to the pinky toe side of your right foot. Use your right hand to bring your weight to that right block, and then just twist your body so that you are moving into your left side. Now from here, we're gonna bend that left knee, reach around and see if we can find that foot. So if you can't find it, it's totally okay. You can try, I'm gonna grab a strap. You can try to use the strap. So you're in the position, you can place the strap around your left foot, get yourself back into place, and then use the strap to bring that foot in. That might be a little bit more accessible. If you can, drag that strap over your left shoulder and come in to the lunge. Bringing that left foot in, finding your balance. So if this bothers your left knee, roll your weight forward a little bit more so you're on the top of the left knee and not right on the knee joint. Good, that looks good. You can also do this without. So you can also do this, you know, kind of coming into your lunge and keeping that left foot down and just finding your hands either at your waist or maybe in prayer position. Prayer position is always a good place to bring your hands. And then slowly bring your hands down, release the left foot. Take your weight back, stretch out through that right leg, draw in through belly, pull the shoulders back, and then exhale, see if you can fold. Stretching out through that right leg, keeping the right hip back and the left hip forward slightly. Slowly come back to center, step the right foot back. Take a moment here, tuck the toes under. Still I have the strap on my left foot, that's okay, we're gonna switch it in a moment. Find your downward facing dog. And exhale, looking forward, left foot steps forward all the way, right knee comes down, and then start with that movement of forward and back. Straightening and bending through the left leg this time. Remember, you can always use your block to move your weight forward and back, and that way your hands can find a place to be. You can have your hands or your fingertips on the floor. And then with the next one, we'll hold the forward fold or moving forward onto that left leg. Take the block, bring it to the left pinky toe side of the foot. Left hand there. And just take a moment to really sit into that left leg. Now again, you might want to use your strap. Place it around your right foot. The strap is not cooperating, there we go. And when you're ready, keep the momentum moving forward. Bend that back knee as you reach around to find your foot or to use your strap. I like the use of the strap because then I can take it over the shoulder and then I can really feel that stretch in the right quadricep. So from there, you can come up and find balance, either with the strap and the foot extending up, holding the foot, or just with the foot down and hands in prayer. So you have all kinds of options here. Keep your balance, keep your steadiness, gazing forward, steady the breath. Keep moving the hips forward and down. Remember that right knee should not hurt because you're rolling your weight forward over the top of the knee, closer to the thigh. And then exhale, let's release everything, come down, extend the left leg, and find your stretch on the left leg. So start with that left leg straight, squaring off the hips. When you're ready, exhale, fold. Folding over that left leg. You can point or flex through the left foot. Try to keep your body equal, so left shoulder, right shoulder coming down at the same time, not one side over the other. And inhale, slowly come back to center. Stepping that right toe, tucking the right toe under, straighten the right leg, and stepping the left foot back, coming back to your downward facing dog. You can move the strap off to the side for now. May need it in a few moments, but for now, we can just move it to the side, find your downward facing dog. Pedal out, sway, move, whatever's comfortable for you. Easy movement of breath. Maybe bring back into your field of awareness your intention set this morning. Allow it to guide you through the rest of your practice. And then inhale, looking forward between the hands. Easy step or walk your feet forward. Coming back to the top of your mat, toes and heels come together. Lengthening the spine, reaching the tailbone back. Arch through the back, so try to create a back bend almost here. It's gonna look flat, but try to create a back bend. Opening the chest, shoulders back, exhale and fold. So as you fold, again, you're gonna find whatever version of Uttanasana suits your body today. Rolling the weight forward if possible, contracting through quadriceps if possible, reaching up through tailbone and pressing the chest towards thighs, only when you're ready. And then slowly soften the knees, belly draws in, inhale, arms up, extend up towards sky, press your feet together, ground your feet, look up towards your thumbs, tuck the tailbone under slightly, reach and extend, exhale, hands to heart. Good. Oh, good morning, son. All right, so we're gonna move again into another version of Surya Namaskar, but it's really like a vinyasa. This time we're gonna sit into Utkatasana. So bend your knees. As you bend your knees, start to notice the hips moving back and down. So I like to kind of place my fingers at the crease of my hips so that I can really feel that fold there in the body. Strong legs. Inhale, lift the chest and start to bring your hands into prayer position. Not good on balance today. I don't know what's going on. Relax the shoulders, ground the feet firmly, and then let's extend the arms forward. So roll the shoulders back, reach the fingertips forward, keep the belly drawn in. Maybe we can sit down a little bit more. Inhale. Reach through the fingertips, belly's in tight. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And with the exhale, let's release the hands to the floor. Keep the knees bent, but go ahead and straighten once the hands come down. Back to your Uttanasana, back to your forward fold. Inhaling, lift halfway. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, shoulders back, top of the head reaching forward. Exhale, fold again. And then slowly plant your hands on the floor. Let's step the left foot back first. Big, big step. Slide that right foot forward or bring the hands towards the foot so that the foot is right in between the two hands. Bring your weight forward as much as you can, lowering the left hip down, drawing in through belly, shoulders strong. Left knee comes to the floor. Release left foot. And then inhale, let's come up into our lunge. So let's extend the arms up towards sky as we press the hips forward, chin up, palms together, and look up towards thumbs. Keep pressing forward through that front foot, drawing the hips down. Exhale, open up to the left, reaching right arm forward, left arm back, and look over left shoulder. Twist your body. Inhale, coming back to center, palms together, look up, find your balance, hips forward and down. Exhale, open up the other way. Right arm back, left arm forward. Look back towards right arm. Hips forward and down, lift the chest. Inhale, back to center. Palms together, look up. Reach up through the rib cage, hips down. Exhale, hands to the floor. Take a moment. And press the right hip back. Straighten right leg. Flex to the right foot. Grab your block, place it underneath your right hip, and come to sit your right hip down onto the block. The right hip comes down, make little adjustments. You want to move that left heel out of the way so that your left heel is on the outside of your left hip. Keep the right foot flexed and engaged. Again, here, if you want, you can use the strap, placing it around your right foot, and then exhale, pulling yourself down. If you don't need the strap, just grab the foot and let yourself fold. Hold it here. 1, 2. If it's too much to have that foot on the outside of the hip, it shouldn't be way out. Just grazing on the outside of the hip, you can tuck it underneath a little bit, but try to slide it out a little bit if you can. 4 and 5. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release, come up. Good job. Now, from here, we're gonna push onto the floor to come back. You can move the block. Come back to our lunge, tuck the left toe under, straighten the leg, place the left heel on the floor, and come up to warrior 1. So our Virabhadrasana 1, bend into that right knee. Move the left hip forward, shoulders square off, arms extend up, and again, looking up towards sky. Keep pressing down into that right knee, strong left hip. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. Reach the right arm forward, left arm back. Lift up the rib cage and sit down into right knee. Looking over right fingertips. Breathe. Inhale. Sit down more. Exhale. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. And then left arm down, right arm up for reverse warrior. Gazing up towards right fingertips. This is a side bend, so feel it through the right side body. Reach the left arm down. You can take that left arm around for a bind. Grab your right thigh. Only whenever you're ready. And then exhale, right elbow to the knee. Turn your torso. You can keep the bind if you wish to kind of rotate your body, or you can take that left arm up and over as you sit down more into your right knee. Look up towards the sky. Steady your breath. Easy inhale, slow, gentle exhale. And now let's go ahead and slide that right hand down to the floor. Keep the extension, keep the hips down. Breathe here. Open the chest. Exhale, roll the hands down. Hands on either sides of your right foot. Step your right foot back. Come to high plank. Chaturanga or knees down, chest down. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Steady breath here. Nice deep inhale, slow gentle exhale. Close this curtain, see if that helps with the light. And then go ahead, use the breath to press into the feet and hands so your weight is equally distributed. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and step the left foot forward between the hands. So we're gonna repeat it on the other side. So left foot forward, stay in your lunge with your right leg straight for a moment. Find your sense of stability, strength here. Easy breath. And then bring right knee down. Inhale, coming up. Find your lunge. So hips forward and down. You can have the right toe tucked under like I'm doing here, or you can release the toe. It's up to you. Depends on how you balance. Palms together. Look up towards thumbs. Keep pressing hips forward and down. Keep lifting up through rib cage. Shoulders pull away from the ears. And then exhale, open up to the right. Look past your right thumb. Sit down more into your left leg. Easy, steady breath. Inhale, come back to center. Palms together, look up. Find balance. Exhale, open to the left. Reach left arm back, right arm forward, and look past towards your left arm. Keep sitting the hips down and forward. Inhale, back up to center. Palms together, look up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Good. Take a breath or two here. Right toe stays tucked under, straightening that right leg and pivoting the right heel down to the floor, maybe shortening the distance a little bit. Inhale, coming up, warrior one. So as we find our warrior one, remember, rib cage up, hips down. That's really what you want to try to focus here. Right hip forward, right shoulder forward, and then now arms can extend up and we can look up. Lengthen through the body, inhale, and exhale, open up, warrior two. Reach the right arm back, reach the left fingertips forward. Strong, powerful legs here. This is a warrior, so reach through the fingertips, strong arms. Reach to the right arm back, left arm up, reverse, finding your side bend here on the left. Reaching the right hand down towards the calf. As you rotate, maybe you can reach right arm around to find your thigh. If that's accessible, you can always just keep it down. Exhale, left elbow to the knee. And again, you can make little adjustments here as you continue to have your bind and rotate out to the side, bending into left knee. Or you can release your right arm and extend it up and over. Steady your breath. Deep inhale, slow, gentle exhale, strong legs. And then slightly let's release left hand down. If you know your left hand cannot come all the way to the floor, place a block there so your left hand can come to the block. And then find extension again. Reach to the right fingertips. Look out from underneath right armpit. Use your left arm to open your left knee out. Bring your body through. And exhale, release. Right hand down, left hand down. Step left foot back. High plank. Knees down, chest down, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, or cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Steady the breath here. Good job. So maybe the breath is a little bit labored. Maybe you're feeling a little soreness in the muscles already, or you're feeling a little tired. It's okay. Bring back your intention for your practice today and let that guide you through. Steady the breath. We're going to move into a couple of twists here. So go ahead and exhale, bring the knees down to the floor. Toes together, knees apart. Separate your knees and come into your balasana. Forehead to the mat, relax the shoulders. So you want to feel a full kind of softening through the upper body. If your head doesn't quite come to the floor, you can use a block, or you can even place it underneath your chest to really support you as you come down. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Calm the body and calm the mind. Draw your intention back into play here. Keep it away in your mind. Keep it in your field of awareness. And then slowly inhale, lift up. You can remove the block if you were using it. Walk your hands back to center. Bring your knees together. Hands in front. We're going to cross the feet and we're going to push the floor away with the arms to lift the knees and slide the feet forward. Try to keep the butt lifted. Maybe you walk the feet through. Extend one leg, extend the other. Stay with the butt off the floor. Belly's drawn in, strong core. Exhale, hips down. Okay, beautiful. So for our first twist today, we're going to do it in legs straight. So right hand to left thigh or left calf, left hand comes back around, looking over left shoulder. You can just have the fingertips on the floor, that left arm away, or you can bring that left hand close to your body and really rotate a little deeper. Your last option for this twist is to take your left arm around and bind with your right thigh. So that's going to make you go a little deeper too. Easy, steady breath. Right arm is your leverage, just like we did in our seated cross-legged twist. And then exhale, release. Come back to center. Realign your body. That same Dandasana position, that's what we want to keep. Now, left hand, right thigh or right calf. Right arm reaches around. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Looking over right shoulder. Belly's drawn in. And then again, you can keep that hand there, slide it close to your body as you rotate a little deeper. Might feel good to try that. It's a little bit more weight into that right arm. Be mindful of the right shoulder that it doesn't collapse. Keep it pulled back. And then lastly, taking that right arm around and seeing if you combine with your left thigh. That'll take you into the deepest version of your twist. Keep the legs strong, feet flexed, hips square, belly drawn in, twist. Good, and exhale, slowly come back to center, back to our Dandasana position. Again, you can use the strap for Paschimottanasana. Place it around your feet, inhale, lengthen spine, and then exhale, fold. Bend through the elbows to reach your chest down. Use your arms, strengthen your shoulders to pull yourself in that direction. If you can, slide your hands closer to your feet so that you're holding onto the strap as close to your feet as possible, or grab your big toes. If you are able to grab your big toes, lengthen through spine, draw in through belly, and flat back, folding forward. Roll shoulders back, keep your gaze forward towards your toes or towards your ankles. Try and lengthen the back of your neck as much as you can. But don't crank your head forward. Just keep a nice long line with the spine. Steady the breath. And inhale, slowly lift up halfway. Exhale, release there. Move the strap out of the way. Okay, moving in one more version of that twist, but now with the right knee bent. We'll do one on each side. Right knee bent, like almost like you're going into Janu Shirshasana. So that means that the foot heel is by the inside of your groin, inside of your left groin. So the foot is flat against that left foot and the left foot is engaged. The right knee is pointing out to the side. So your body is centered over that left leg before we go into the twist. Then the same as we did before, right hand to the left thigh or calf, left hand reaches around. Don't have room behind me, so I gotta turn back this way. Left hand reaches around, fingertips on the floor, just like the first one we did, but now the right knee is bent. And look over the left shoulder. And then remember your options, left hand close to the body, or reach around and bind with your right thigh. The bind here might be a little bit easier because the right knee is bent, so the right leg is a little closer to the hand. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, rotate. Whatever version of this posture you chose for you today, keep that right arm strong, using it like leverage. And exhale, let's release. Coming back to center, folding over that left leg. Again, using the strap if you need it, or finding your foot. And extend your body, breathe here. Moving into a little bit of a side bend. So grab the pinky toe side of your foot with your left hand, but let your elbow fold on the inside of the foot. If it doesn't quite make it there, place the block on the inside of your knee, and that way you can bring your elbow to the block. So it'll look like this. You grab the foot on the pinky toe side, and then your elbow goes on the inside of your leg. So you're kind of rotating through your body. And then use your right arm to push your chest out and away, gazing back over the right shoulder, and then take your right arm up towards the ceiling or over. See if you can find your toes. Not necessary, you can just keep extending the arm and twisting and rotating through the body. Steady your breath there and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, everything comes up, same way we went in, back to center. Fold over left leg one more time, evening out the sides. And inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, come back. Good. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So extend right leg, left foot pulls into the body, knee folds out to the side. Bring the heel as close to the inside of that right thigh as possible. So high up into the groin. Right leg extended, left knee is out to the side. And we'll go for a twist. So left hand, right thigh or calf or knee. Right hand behind you. Lift the chest, rotate torso, look over right shoulder. So keep that nice lengthening up of the spine as you move and twist into your posture. Nice. And then again, just as before, you can have that hand close to the body. This definitely changes the posture. It gives you a lift through the spine, and it gives you a little bit more wiggle room to twist. And then lastly is taking that right arm around, finding your left thigh, and then going a little bit deeper. The binds are really kind of cool when you get them. Until you actually get the bind where you have a good grip, it's kind of annoying because you're like in the middle of getting the grip and not having the grip. So until you have the full bind, if you try it and you don't have a full strong bind, bringing your hand to the floor might be a little bit of a better option for you. And then exhale, slowly come back to center, using your strap to pull yourself forward, or simply grabbing a hold of your foot, maybe even interlacing your hands underneath your foot or grabbing your opposite wrist, and then fold deep. Let your head lengthen, relax. Keep the belly drawn in. Keep the left side of your body pulling just as much as the right side. Easy breath. And then inhale, lift halfway. We're gonna go ahead and move into that little bit of a twist. So right hand on the outside, right elbow on the inside. So right hand by the pinky toe, elbow by the inside of the right thigh or right knee or calf. And then slowly twist and turn your body. You can press into your left hand to move your left shoulder back, gazing up and back past that left shoulder. Keep a good grip on your hand, on your foot. You can also use the strap here. Just try to bring that right elbow to the floor or to the block. And then left arm extends up, opening here. And then exhale, take it over. Find your side bend or find your foot. If you find your foot, rotate a little deeper, moving your body through. Looking out from underneath left armpit or left arm. Steady the breath, deep side bend here. Keep pulling with your right arm, pushing that right elbow to the floor, pulling the right shoulder away from the ear, twisting and rotating the body. And slowly release, come back up same way you went down. Allow yourself to come back to center and one more time fold here. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, let's release. Beautiful. Okay, let's lay all the way down onto the back. Grab a block with you before you come down. Lay all the way onto the back and place the block underneath the sacrum. I'm gonna go for little legs up the wall. Never hurt nobody. It's actually a really good way to kind of start to wrap up our practice. So go ahead and bring your legs up. Let your sacrum be placed right on the block. It's good to have a firmer surface for this, so using a cushion or a pillow might be okay, but a firmer surface will allow you to really feel that elevation. And then palms down on the mat, arms relaxed, shoulders back. You can gaze towards your toes. Keep your belly drawn in, keep the length of the legs. The legs are straight, but they're not locked out in place, so you can relax them a little bit. And same with the feet. No need to point through the feet, no need to flex through the feet. Just relax them, let them be wherever they need to be. At some point, your legs may start to sway or separate slightly from each other. So just let that happen. Don't be so rigid with your legs. Let them kind of feel like hot air balloons floating up in the sky, going in whatever direction they feel. But they're still connected to your body, to your hips. There's a feeling of groundedness through your upper body and through your hips, as the legs just float. Reconnect here with breath. Maybe draw your awareness back to your original intention before your practice today. A couple more breaths here. And then with the next exhale breath, we're going to try to scissor the legs. So keeping your sacrum down onto your block, take your right leg towards your face and your left leg away from your body. Point through your toes, try to scissor the legs, go as far as your body will allow. Allow that left leg to engage and push away, right toe engage and push up and over. Don't use your arms for this, just your legs and core. And then exhale, come back to center and go the other way. So now the left leg comes over and the right leg extends. Keep the belly drawn in, keep the core engaged, reach the legs, extend them as much as possible, like you want the left toes to touch the floor over your head and your right toes to touch the wall in front. Keep reaching, keep lengthening, and slowly come back to center. Let's do that one more time each side. Right leg back, or right leg towards your face, left leg extends away. Go to your maximum. Sometimes we start shaking a little bit when we're really working. It's okay, let the muscles shake. And inhale, come back to center. Other side. Really lengthen, really stretch. And back to center. And then go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall out. Bring the knees into, or the feet in towards each other. Maybe hold on to your ankles. With your hips elevated like this, makes it a little easier to have the soles of the feet touch. So use your shoulders to press into the floor and open the knees out to the side. Keep the feet drawn in towards your body. Hold onto your ankles here to keep the feet engaged. Because if you let go of your ankles, your feet are going to come out away from you. So keep them pulled in. Hold and breathe. This is like a Supta Baddha Konasana. Relax the shoulders with a little bit of lift through the hips. So it's a nice little different pose. Easy, steady breath. If you feel like adding a little bit of movement here might be helpful, maybe just rocking on this block, rocking your sacrum on the block, or moving forward and back, or just maybe butterflying the legs. Whatever you want to do here, if you want to add movement, feel free. Notice that one side tends to be a little bit more flexible than the other, so it's a little bit more open. And then exhale, let's release the feet, bring them down to the floor. Once the feet are down, let the arms come down by your sides, press into the floor. Just hold here. This is like a little supported bridge. With the block at its lowest level, you may not feel much elevation through the hips, but keep the feet planted. Start to feel grounded through the feet again. Notice how the hips are feeling. And then we're going to elevate the block one level. So come to your toes and then just tilt the block up so that you can rest your sacrum on again, and then relax your feet back flat to the floor, relax your arms, and get used to this new position. So now maybe a little bit more lift through the hips. Steady here with the breath. And then we're going to try to lift one more level. So if this is enough for you, if this is enough lift, then you're going to stay here. Otherwise, come back to the tips of your toes. Lift the hips up even higher. Slide the block to the highest level. So now your weight is on your shoulders and your hips are on the block. Let your feet flatten back out. Arms down by your sides, palms facing down. And steady breath here. Again, if this is too much, go back to the lower level. You want to feel enough weight in your shoulders and enough weight in your feet. Obviously, the support of the block is keeping your hips elevated, so you don't need to engage too much through the legs or glutes. Let the air move in and out through the body. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, we're gonna come back down the same way we went up. So tuck the toes, lift the hips, lower down one level down, so that middle level. Hips come down too. Relax the arms, fix the shoulders. And this time, instead of having the feet flat on the floor, we're gonna extend the legs. Start with one leg, feel the extension in that leg, and then slide the other one away. So a little bit more of a rib cage opener, a heart opener. See what happens. If this is too much, you can always bend the knees again. Steady your breathing. And slowly inhale, bend one knee, bend the other knee, come back to feet flat on the floor, toes on the floor, lift the hips, slide the block to the lowest level. So coming back to the lowest level, relax the feet. And again, you can stay here with the feet planted, or you can try straightening one leg and then the other. This one should feel a little bit more accessible than the last one. Should feel a little easier, a little bit more comfortable. If you want to make it a little bit more intense, you can always extend the arms up overhead so that the backs of the hands are on the floor. Easy, steady breath. And slowly exhale, release the arms down by your sides. If they are lifted, bend through the knees, plant the feet back on the floor. Elevate the hips again, remove the block, bring the hips all the way down to the mat. Bring the knees into the chest, roll around a couple times here, giving your lower back and your sacrum a little massage. So that was kind of a lot of kind of back bending type of postures, but they were supported, so you shouldn't feel too much strain. Either way, it's good to give your lower back a little love. And then hug the knees in towards the body. See if you can bring the knees over the shoulders. Your feet are apart, but they're relaxed. Going into a little happy baby. We'll start with the right hand reaching down towards right foot, left hand reaching down to left foot. Grab the pinky toe side of each foot with the right and left hand respectively. Relax the shoulders. And then when you're ready, keep the left leg just as it is, just elevate the right heel. So now we're going to like a half happy baby. Just the right heel lifts up, right shin perpendicular to the floor, and right knee pulls down towards the floor. Keep the left leg nice and just where you first found it. No change in the left. Now we're going to change the grip. So instead of holding on to the right pinky toe, grab a hold of the right toe, right big toe, and then extend the right leg out. You can use your right elbow, bring it to the floor to create a little bit of a shelf, or you can use the arm as weight to pull yourself down. Be mindful that you don't lean too much to the right, so keep the left side of your body heavy by pulling the left shoulder down towards the mat. Steady your breath here. And then inhale, slowly, gently bend the right knee, grab a hold of the pinky toe side of the foot again, back to where we started. We'll do the left side. So now the left heel lifts up, right leg stays put. Trying to keep the sacrum down, the shoulders down, try to keep the back as flat to the floor as possible. And then we'll switch the grip, grab the big toe instead of the pinky toe side of the foot, and extend the left leg. Let the left elbow come down to the floor, or let it just use it like a weight to pull the left leg down and over a little bit more. That right foot doesn't really change. Keep the right side of your body heavy, right shoulder down, steady your breath. It might help to look the opposite direction as your extended leg. That might help you balance a little bit more if you feel like you're going to tip over to the left. Keep the belly drawn in, steady breathing. And slowly exhale, bending through the left knee, grabbing the pinky toe side of the foot again, coming back to where we started. Now we can go ahead and do both legs. So lift the heels, both of them, and come into your full version of happy baby. Go ahead and roll side to side if that feels good. Or front and back, whatever you feel like doing here. Just let your body move and turn. Relax the back of your neck. Pull your knees down towards the earth. Relax the shoulders. And then holding on to the big toes, both feet. Get a good grip and go ahead and extend the legs. Again, you can let those elbows come to the floor, or you can let them hover over the floor, using them like weights to draw the feet down and over. Keep the tailbone tucked down and back towards the earth. So even though you're lifting through the legs, you want to keep that tailbone lowered as much as possible. Find your stretch. Connect with breath. Maybe bring back into your awareness that original intention for your practice today. How has it changed if it has? Has it stayed the same? Do you still have the same passion for that original intention or that same feeling for it? Or has it kind of become a little bit more subdued? Always good to explore how things manifest and move through us as we go through our practice. And then exhale, go ahead and bend the knees, grab the pinky toe sides of the feet and let the feet come down, knees apart. Relax the feet down, bring the knees together. Extend the legs and come into your Shavasana. So if there's any posture here that you might want to finish with, like a shoulder stand or a Halasana, you're welcome to try those. Otherwise, find your Shavasana, close your eyes, arms down by your sides, palms facing up, fingers gently curled into your hands. Let the toes flop out to the sides. No tension in the legs or hips. Let the breath move effortlessly and fluidly through the nostrils. Slowly and gently, we'll draw awareness back to our bodies, the sensations on our skin, the thoughts circling and moving around in the mind, the feelings that rise up within us. The external stimuli, the sounds and smells around us. Bringing our awareness back to this present moment, to this room, to this space, to this time and place. As you're ready, begin to add a little bit of movement to the fingers and toes, the hands and the feet, the arms and the legs, gently reawakening the body. That movement to spread. Maybe even the head side to side. And bend the knees, bend the elbows. Let your hands rest on your torso as you let the knees fall in towards each other. Take a few moments here to really settle into this constructive resting posture. In this posture, we relieve any tension of the hips. We can feel the belly rise and fall below our hands, connecting deeply to the movement of each inhale and each exhale. And then as you're ready, gently start to roll over onto your side. Take your time. Use your bottom arm like a pillow to extend it up. Your top arm can be right in front. Just take a few breaths here, knees bent and stacked. And then inhale, pressing into that top arm, lengthening the top leg away as you slide yourself coming back to your seated position. Take your time, find your cushion or your block, and come into seated. We're gonna finish our practice today with a very short gratitude meditation. As we settle into our bodies, coming out of our practice, again, bringing that intention we originally set for our practice today. And finding that place where that intention is set or met, and feeling as if though it already is. It's already happened. Or it's already happening. And see what rises up for you in your heart when you see that, when you feel that. For me, it's a deep sense of gratitude. I'm thankful for the gift. But for you, it might be something different. So the next few breaths, feeling, sensing, knowing the intention has become a reality. It is the thing. It is in the present and the feeling that arises from that awareness. And together we'll draw our palms to the center of the heart. We'll seal our sacred space of practice here with one sound, Om. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.